Everybody, January the 28th, Sedges Silver League, really looking forward to this. 6 matches, 5 results count. This is the first round, 40 people in it, so sell out. 20 pegs on Tile Lake, 20 pegs on Brick Lake. It's an open draw and continues to be an open draw until you've fished one of those lakes 3 times, and then you'll go into a separate draw until you fish the other one 3 times. So quite nice. I think the wind could get a little bit awkward. Visibility down here can be quite difficult at times, so I'm not going to start too long today. I haven't got too many premeditated ideas. I've brought down a couple of feeder rods. We've got our poles, we've got our pole, we've got some micro pellets can work, micro pellets and expanders can work. I've got ground bait, maggots and pinkies as well. So just going to go and have a lovely fry up as usual, and then we'll get on the draw and see where we are. See you in a bit. 37 Tile Lake, happy with that, to be honest. So the wind's going to be southwest today, it's going to get up later and it's going to be off my left shoulder, so well happy with that. Little look at the peg in the lake. People just coming down from the draw now. There's the peg. We'll have a little plumb around, see what we think.
You might be on film as well.
Oh, it might be on film? Yeah. No. I need appearance money to be on film.
I could edit, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, video. I could out.
Well, actually, I was going to say I could picturate, but the truth is I can't yet.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today we're at Sedges. It's January the 28th and this is the first round of the Silver League. Silver League is over 6 rounds. If you watch my match from yesterday at Acorn, you'll realise that this round should have been a week ago, but it was so thick ice that it was actually cancelled. So 1 ball ground bait going in on the left. We're going very careful with what we're putting in. I really don't know how it's going to fish. It's not been fished really this week since all the ice water had sort of melted and gone in there. And then I'm just starting on the right hand side, same depth of water, but a black float in white water, whereas the one to the left with the ground bait was an orange. We got a couple of orange floats to go over that, over ground bait. And we just tapped in so we've tapped in a few micros, and it really is a few, like 15 micros, a small expander on the hook. It didn't happen, so what we did then is gone out with half a cab pot full of micros and just potted that in, and we've picked up our feeder rod. As I say, always worth checking on that pellet line, just see if you're on them, if it's going to be one of those sort of days, a red letter day. If not, for me on Tile Lake is out on a little feeder, fishing as light as I possibly can. That's a 12 gram feeder, £3 Maxima, little bit of a shock leader on there, a £5 maxi, so I can punch it into the wind a bit if I need to. Not a terribly long hook length. I found a lot of the bites on here from the smaller skimmers, or even the bigger ones come to that, can be very tiny. You're talking a matter of millimeters movement on the tip. So just looking to catch something really, and just let that bit of ground bait settle. I think we're going to be fishing ground bait and maybe pellets late if we're lucky. So we're off the mark anyway. A skimmer there, a couple of ounces, little bottle top. Would have preferred one about 12 ounces, obviously, but you got to take what's there really. We've got 3 rigs set up today, as you've probably seen earlier. And one of them sort of to fish the whole hook length on the bottom, with a number 10 just off the bottom, so anything picking up the bait will pick up that number 10 and the bristle will rise up out of the water like a lift bite. If it gets really windy, we can use that rig. Otherwise it's just a sort of pencil 0.4 float, but quite a long pencil float, so I got a bit of stability because it's quite deep. It's a good 6 foot, maybe 6'6", and as you can see, I've used my top kits plus my short fours. Time you got a little bit of line above your rig, so it is quite deep. Couple of number 8 back shots on all the rigs as well, and then another number 4 pencil float, very similar to the one being used on the left, but this one's for the right, blacked out top to fish just over those pellets. I'm timing me casts at the moment. I got a little stop. I've actually got one of those matrix counters, which I think are brilliant. My wife actually bought it for Christmas, and it's great. So on there you've got you can count the pounds of your fish, etc., for your weight, like a bit like a clicker, for the weight in your nets, etc., when you're on sort of carp and such. And also it's got the time on it, so it saves you having to put a watch on the side, and it has a stopwatch, which is a great bit of kit. I used to actually carry a stopwatch separately, but now I've got that, I don't need to. I like to time me casts. I like to see how long it takes to get any indications. It's quite massive, that, actually. Time management of your match is huge. So if you can see you get a touch after 3 minutes, you want to chuck your feeder out there, leave it out there 4 minutes, nothing happens, bring it back. Nice little skimmer, a little bit too big to swing, that one. Sort of 4 or 5 ounces. Don't mind those if they keep coming. Unfortunately they didn't, so we're out and onto the pellet line again early after we put in that little half a cab pot. I wanted to have a look, nothing happened, so we're off on the left and onto the ground bait line. And not a great sign, to be fair. Small fish, that is not ideal. I was hoping a few skimmers had settled over it. I got a feeling already early now that this is going to be harder than I thought, and I may well have put a bit too much ground bait in there already. But in saying that, it looks like we've hooked a skimmer now. The only trouble is that bit of ripple with the light we got. I've when we plumbed up, it was quite flat, and I've come to realise that left-hand line in the shadow of the island, so you've got sort of dark and light water, which is why I put sort of orange floats in there. Is already they're really difficult to see, but we've got one on now anyway, so great news. That's what we're after. The forecast isn't quite as they said. The wind isn't quite as southerly as they said. If it was southerly, it'd been over my left shoulder a little bit, which it is, but it's a little bit more left to right than what we thought it was going to be. The first sort of 90 minutes of the match, and another nice, this fish feels quite handy as well, but the first 90 minutes of the match down here, this is pretty much my routine to go between ground bait and pellets, find out which is going to be best on the day, and then all you got to do is work out the best way to feed it and how much, and how frequently, and the best hook baits obviously. Fishing single maggot at the moment, single dead maggot I should say really. A lot of small roach in here. I don't want to bait this moving around too much. You just pick up roach. On this rig, well, on all the rigs actually, we're fishing 08 line. 08 lines and 20 hooks. So pretty light. I have got some 07s and 22s if it's really tough, but oh, this fish is just took another dive. This is either a foul hook skimmer or not the species we're after. Typically bloomin' carp. Amazing what you can get out on light kit when it's balanced though, isn't it? So we're struggling to find any quality. 3 pegs to my left, Steve up on peg 40. You can probably see the end bank there off to my left a bit there, the end bank, and see how sort of flat it is. Obviously he's further back than that, but yeah, he's absolutely bagging up there. I don't think anybody's going to beat him in the section today. So we're really fishing for second, and we're struggling a little bit. Wayne to my right, which is one of the Forester Dean lads who've come down and I've met, is fishing a really nice match, to be honest. I'm not sure at the moment what he's fishing, but he's had a few. He's patient. He's waiting a long time, but he is catching quality fish. And he's looking good for second at the moment. So, you know, we've just got our head down at the moment, trying to get anything we can in the net. First match of the series, and you want a good start, really, don't you? I fished this series the first time about 7-8 years ago, and actually won the series, which was lovely. And I went on and won the series 4 years on the trot, which is quite unbelievable, really. And I was quite lucky as well. Drew well, you know, you've got to, haven't you? And the year after that, I come second, and the year after that, I came third, which I was well happy with, you know. But the last couple of years, I went away and fished a few other different things that clashed with this. I hadn't fished it, but I missed it, really, really missed it. So I came back this year, but I've not been down to practice or anything like that. Any of you sort of followed me videos will have seen that I did fish down here a couple of times last year, once in the teams of 4, which we won, and once filling in for Vic Bush. Yeah, other than that, I've just not been down here at all, really. Catching a few little fish now and sort of threading a weight together, but really, I'm sort of thinking if I'd known it was going to fish like this, I would have fished sort of with the wind and everything else and the visibility. I probably would have fished 11 meters, small balls of ground bait and pinkies and things, and just got my head down like that. I don't think I fished the right match at all today, and this is the lack of me getting down here, really. And as I said earlier, Wayne's fishing a good match to me, right, and yeah, I'm going to be struggling to beat him and get second in section here. I can't see anything on the left hand line now, and the pellet line on the right is quite slow, so we've put a couple of quick chucks in on the feeder to get a little bit of bait out there again, because we did leave it for a long time, and then we've just chucked over it now, and we're just desperately trying to find a better fish, really, in the final sort of minutes, final 20 minutes. Having a bit of banter with Wayne though. He's a good lad. Better to be lucky.